There's probably about 1,500 bees on this particular frame.
Virginia Master Beekeeper Hodgie Holgersen began this work close to 60 years ago after reading a book on honeybees in elementary school.
I probably spend more time doing this than I do my day job. Don't tell my boss, but anyway.
Today he cares for about 100 hives and is a member of the Tidewater Beekeepers Association.
To educate not only beekeepers, but the non-beekeeping public. And educating the non-beekeeping public is a daunting task because most people are afraid of honeybees.
If you're a backyard beekeeper, this is what you want to see. A healthy colony has a nice oval pattern with young, undeveloped bees covering about 75% of the frame, the rest being pollen and honey. And while delicious honey is a good reason to keep bees around, Holgersen says their main contribution is pollination.
Virginia's #1 economy is agriculture. Virginia farmers raise 100 different commercially grown crops that they would not be able to raise if it wasn't for a simple bug. That kind of puts things in perspective.
Keith Tignor echoes that importance, pointing to the bees' role in producing the quantities of our fruits, vegetables, and nuts we have today.
It's been estimated that 1/3 of every bite we take at the dinner table is attributed to pollination by the honeybee. Without honeybees, the cost of food is going to continue to increase. The availability of food is going to decrease. And so it's extremely critical to maintain a healthy honeybee population for that pollination.
In Massachusetts, 6th-generation beekeeper Ken Warchaw has strived to maintain healthy bees for nearly 70 years.
There's nothing better I love to do than to go into a beehive. It's so rewarding, so refreshing, so relaxing.
Ken describes this hive as being very healthy, but the odds are stacked against honeybees. He says on average each year he sees 20 to 25% losses. And believe it or not, for a beekeeper, that's a good percentage.
Here in the United States, it rings between 35 and 60%, depending what areas. The northern latitudes a little more because down south they can raise brood all year round. Up here, they cut their brood rearing off in November and start up in January. And so it's many more losses up here than down south, more like 30, 35% down south, more like 50 to 60% up here.
We have an annual loss of approximately 30%. That's each winter we anticipate that we're going to lose 1/3 of our population. Virginia is not alone in the loss of bees. Some locations are even greater losses than us. Some are doing a little bit better. But overall, this is a problem that's worldwide.
Beekeepers say a number of factors continue to affect the population, like pesticides, poor nutrition, disease, and pests like the varroa mite.
The diseases, pests that are being introduced almost on an annual basis into the United States that's causing problems for honeybees and other pollinators.
This is what's called an observation hive. Tignor takes it to schools, garden clubs, festivals, places where people are interested in honeybees. If you'd like to become a backyard beekeeper, he recommends that you first educate yourself on managing bees.
We do need more numbers of bees out there for pollination. That it is a good thing. It's a positive thing. And as I mentioned earlier, as long as they're responsible beekeepers, we call them beekeepers and not bee havers. Take care, make sure they stay alive and continue to prosper as opposed to just leaving them alone, because without your help, those bees aren't going to survive with those factors all against them.
Experts we interviewed acknowledge that even with the work of beekeepers, the overall bee population faces an uphill battle in terms of maintaining numbers. Mark Martin, CBN News.